Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts on. And I don't know. I got my camera on, and I had some bicycle parts on the floor. Maybe somebody saw them. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. But anyway, I hope you all are doing well. And I want to get past my 30 seconds, but my thumbnail says Fox News exposed. My goodness. Who would ever thought the reports that we've got coming in about who they've been donating to? And also that it seems somebody perished at the Obama estate. They drowned. And that came out about 1:30 today on Telegram was the first report I saw. And we'll be getting some more information about that. Maybe somebody in the chats has heard some more about it. But also, as we know from Mr. T, that the gloves are off. And things are getting pretty hairy with the wild bunch that are after Trump. So let's see what's going on here. Hi, Vicky. How you doing? Phil, Joy, Sinsen. Hi, Mike. Mr. Kibler. How you doing? Hi, Robin. How are you? So, what about 8 feet of water and a life vest? Is that what happened with the person? They said they were out there kayaking. I don't know. But did anybody get a chance to go over? Because I will show one of them. I said 17 posts came up when you put a certain pair of words in there. Hi, Richard. How you doing? When you put a certain pair of words in, you got 17 posts, and to read them and just read them with a clear mind and comprehend what's being said instead of trying to decode what's being said. So anyway, I've got one of them I'll go over with you all. And then I got a bunch of other ones we'll go over whenever I do a bumble jump, which I'm not going to do tonight. But anyway, the reason I'm doing that is because what we see our old friend Benjamin Franklin saying on the screen there, tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn. In other words, you can't tell people, you got to show them, okay? And this is the first time in history that the military has invited the general public around the world to be involved. First time in history anything been tried like this. So they're involving us so we will learn, right, folks? But we don't listen to Ben Franklin because he was a slaveholder and he white privileged colonist, blah, 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 blah. Well, like hell, he didn't own any slaves and he was a very wise man. They probably don't even know he's on the $100 bill, these radicals. Because they're on a cashless society anyway, because they just got little gift cards from, NGOs, non-government organizations, nonprofits that get recharged. Every time they go to a riot, they get their card charged. Did you know that? That's how they get paid, a lot of them. And more for that, they wouldn't be earning a dollar if they couldn't get in on what I've talked about before, the false economy. If they couldn't get into Twitter to do nothing, sit around, get a check, and have a communist ideals and lifestyle reinforced with our money, okay? Because Twitter was being paid by 3-letter agencies to put out the message and to censor us. And they're giving checks out to thousands of worthless wannabe Marxists, okay? Marxists in waiting. So we'll get into that some more because lawfare works two ways. And we're going to start tearing down these bastions. Hi, Debbie. How you doing? Mike, how you doing? Sin's here. M's here. Hi, Lone Wolf. Susie D. Yeah, thumbs up. Susie said, ha ha. Henri, she always give me a thumbs up right when she comes in the door. Rubber toe, they give me thumbs up too. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Debbie, how you doing? Hi, Wanda. Melinda. Richard's in here. Okay, we got everybody showing up. And I didn't get a chance to shoot off a message to Nikki, but I am hoping she'll pop in. She's always so busy, don't you know? But anyway, so RFK was not censored at all, yeah. RFK, he's putting it out there, and so are a lot of other people. I tell you, boy, if I was just coming up in this world, I'd be working on getting if I didn't have it already, passing a bar and getting a law degree and being ready to go after people for so many different things. We will discuss it as we go along. But I tell you, I can't help looking at least the thumbnails for some of these channels, because it's like sour milk. When you open the refrigerator door, many of you have heard me say this before, and you see milk in there and you know it's sour, for some reason you still got to smell it. But anyway, here is what these ninnies, what I'll call them, nitwits, ninnies. I've talked about this channel before, and I quit putting comments in because they probably get blocked, and nobody pays attention to them. They're all suffering from that illness. It's got 3 letters, starts with a T, ends with an S, has got a D in the middle, and some of them are terminal. They nothing you can do with them. But anyway, this video had 127,000 views. It's hard to believe, but complete panic mode. Trump makes desperate recordings of himself as more indictments loom. And I couldn't get an answer from them before when I used to go back and forth with them, but my channel got nuked. Okay, so I'm not going to get involved with that with this channel. But I could never get a straight answer as to who had a law license, okay, that was putting out this opinions on Judge Eileen Cannon, okay, desultory comments and legal opinions. I wanted to know who actually had a license. So what this situation is going to boil down to is Donald Trump is the only person not on just the national stage, but the international stage that has not only shown the ability, but the inclination to end some of the most horrific things that we know are going on. One thing he mentioned is human trafficking, okay? And he is going to propose that Congress pass the ultimate penalty for that. How are these people going to continue to put this garbage out and continue to attack the only person who has been against the endless wars, who's been against this corruption and waste of foreign aid, the weapons trading and dealing and money that's unaccounted for all these endless wars? How are they going to continue ranting against a person who's saying, hey, we've got crazy people coming across the border. We have no idea who they are. We've got known criminals. We've got known terrorists coming over. How long can these people continue to do this? But I guess as long as they get views, as long as they get people clicking, but we also know that there is a little program where people get an email asking them, do you want to get paid for doing a certain narrative on your YouTube channel? We've seen that video where a guy said, hey, they said they'd pay me. So maybe that's why they're doing it. And you also know several YouTubers have said it that we know of that said, hey, you can buy subscription numbers. You can buy, I guess they're bots. They go in the chats or whatever they do, make your channel get more activity. So I don't know. Maybe that's what they're doing. But anyway, here's another part. Midas touch. Jack Smith serves Trump with a criminal target letter. Cannon sets a trial date. The Fulton County grand jury gets to work. Trump gets denied by multiple federal judges and more. Watch Legal AF at 8 p.m. Legal AF. Everybody knows what that means, right? I can remember when there was a debate about letting attorneys advertise. Attorneys weren't allowed to put advertisements up for their firm. And that was a pretty big deal. And it wasn't that long ago, back in the 1990s. And they should have left it where they're not allowed to advertise. Because now you have a phone, you have a lawyer. But I've already been over how some of these pseudo universities, communist influenced universities, are handing out law degrees like bags of popcorn. And then you've got a lot of people running around, I'm a lawyer. And they got to dream up cases, to make a living. So anyway, that's another subject. But here's the way they put their stream up. There's the two ninnies on the left that are supposed to be having a big, fun, wonderful talk, crumbling Trump, and they're grinning and smiling. Listen, you freaks. He's against human trafficking. He's against endless wars. He brought us peace, okay? He wants the death to stop. And look at these two. Oh, so happy. And they're going to put forth a narrative that is fraught with misconceptions, exaggerations, distortions of the law to aid and abet this thing in the middle to interfere with an upcoming election, to constantly harass, like they did. Trump was a duly elected 45th president of the United States. He didn't get 1 day of peace. Did not get 1 day of peace from nitwits like this. So I am going to revel in when the time comes and these people are stripped of their law licenses, if they have any. And if they're in positions of public trust, they're removed for participating in an illegal psychological warfare campaign in the United States. They call it lawfare. It's an abuse of the system, and they need to go. So you can grin right now, you fools, but we'll see how it all turns out. We'll see how it all turns out. But yeah, we'll follow the money and see how you end up with the followers, how you end up with preferential treatment in any kind of rhythm or anything like that. As I said, my channel is frozen. Probably closer to 2 months. No movement. That's unnatural. Oh, here's a new thing. YouTube has a new ad. I got a screenshot of it. That's why I'm trying to get over to Bumble. That's why one of the reasons I've shown the crazy ads you Tizzles put up about how you ask your healthcare provider how you can get all the pills and whatever you need to have a successful transition that we're all paying for. And then we're going to have to pay for all the other drugs to straighten their, try to straighten the brain out. But anyway, now here you got unlock the lucrative world of adult entertainment. Get $5 to 10 or 5 to 10,000 K per model on OnlyFans. Well, let me tell you something. The adult industry is one of the biggest contributors to human trafficking. One of the biggest benefit, they receive the biggest benefits to human trafficking is the adult industry. And that's going to come out. There's going to be a lot of heads rolling in that industry. You watch what I'm saying. Outlandish Patriots, how you doing? Hi, Reba. Tennessee, how are you doing? Hello, Angel. I've been pontificating, hadn't had a chance to. Hi, Sandy. Nix, how you doing? Go through and hi, Mary, how you doing? Pappy Two Bears. Awaken Trillium. Hi. Oh, yeah. Well, he's campaigning. They twist everything. Well, you know, they're attorneys. They should know better than to put out some of the stuff, especially about judges. But really, about the 45th president of the United States and supporting and not giving 10 seconds of his point of view or his side of the legal. It's not even a legal argument. Those are his documents, just like the Clinton Sox case closed, get the hell out of the courtroom, and that's probably what's gonna happen. Hi, Gary, how you doing? Ha ha. So, so this is why I'm trying to get over to you, Tizzle, more often. It is, from a creator standpoint, difficult, but not impossible. And so I'll be doing more Bumble jumps and try to build up. I'm over 300 subscribers over there. So we'll work on that and get away from this. Anything that's got this cesspool stuff going on. Anyway, Mr. T put this out from Rosanna Dana. Ha ha. In an effort to level the playing field, we'll debate Joe Biden. Ha ha ha. And Mr. T said won't even be close. So we're going to keep our sense of humor as we go along. And I was going through some of the posts of 17, and I came across this one. A picture posted by 17 years ago. Just wait, it's coming, folks. And for new initiates, if you don't know who that is, Andrew McCabe and James Comey, former director of the FBI. So these two are going to have problems now. McCabe's working for CNN, but look at the books they got. What happened? Hillary Rodham Clinton, and the other one is, let me see, what happened? They got something to read while they're in jail. A Higher Loyalty by James Comey. There they are. Yeah. The heat's getting turned up. The gloves are off. People are finding out more. I asked everybody I said there was 2 words you put in and you get a 17 posts on the 17 board, right? Only way. Only way. What we're doing, the way we're doing it is the only way. To educate people, to flush out the entire system. This has to be a cooperative worldwide event. There are militaries that are good. They know their governments are corrupt. And there needs to be a military police action. And that's what's going on right now. Hi, Bambi. How are you? A Google account. I hadn't seen you in a while. So, let me see. Just see what's going on. Oh, Jamie. I'll put a picture up of Jamie Foxx side by side chat, Gary. So, anyway, yeah, I watched the video that Foxx put out. He made his eyes crooked like Wanda, and but anyway, I want to show you an article real quick. Their tactics, okay? I found this on AP when I had another notification on another article. Michigan clerk stripped of election duties after being charged for acting as a fake elector in 2020. There is no such thing as a fake elector. There's alternate slates. They've been doing it forever, but they're criminalizing this stuff. File Shelby Town name Grott speaks with reporters after announcing, let me straighten that out, his 218 run for Michigan Secretary of State. So he's being prohibited from holding elections after being charged early this week as acting as a fake election, it should say elector, in 2020 for then President Donald Trump. So, okay, I read an article last year where they took somebody out of a county office for being at J6. A Republican out of a local county office. I can't remember. He might have been like a treasurer, or I don't know what he was. But they said he was an insurrectionist and disqualified from holding office. So here's another example, and that is what they're trying to do with Mr. T. So a town clerk will be barred from running for any elections. On Thursday, the Michigan Bureau of Elections notified Stan Grott, a Republican, who has served as a Shelby Township clerk since 2012, he will be prohibited from administering elections while charges are pending. He was one of the 16 charged early this week by Attorney General Dana Nessel for signing certificates that falsely stated Trump won the state, not Biden. Each of the 16 people face the same 8 criminal charges, including forgery and conspiracy to commit election forgery. The most serious charges carry a maximum penalty of 14 years. Well, people whose minds are not closed have seen the footage from 2016 election where all the Democrats were putting forth their electors, where all of them were swearing and certifying that there was something wrong with Trump's victory. What the hell did they think the Russia stuff was all about? Okay, so, you're going to make this stuff a criminal act? Because they signed some papers? Wait till we get to those intel guys that signed that phony letter subverting the Trump presidency, okay? Just remember that, folks. And here, I'm going to go ahead and put this up. I said to key in the word, 2 words, only way. Only way. And I said 17 posts would come up. So I said, well, I'll just go ahead and go over one of them. And I took I didn't get all the references out, but so I won't get in trouble, maybe. I don't know. In a black box means someone had a question or statement that the Intel board thought was worth putting up. It says, I see what's happening, but I would like to see you guys doing something about it already. We know all of this. We are helpless to it all. So the real question, 17, is, do you see what's happening? And later on, I showed one of the posts that was in all capital letters, where I said it was one of the few times where the 17th letter entity got angry and was in all caps for the longest post in all caps, pretty much saying, what the hell are you talking about? Nothing's happening, listing all the things that's happened. But this post is much nicer. Fear not. We are not helpless. Enough must see. It is the only way. That goes back to, you can't tell people, you have to show them. You are being presented with the gift of vision, ability to see clearly what they've hid from you for so long. Illumination. Their deception, dark actions on full display. People are waking up in mass. People are no longer blind. Do you think it's a coincidence they banned and prevented you from attending church, house of worship? Anti-American, anti-God. One must only look to see. Have faith in humanity. Have faith in yourself. Let light guide you. Find peace through prayer. And the bottom part of it said biblical. It's going to be biblical, folks. But the only way, and if you get a chance, key in those two words, just those two words, and read the 17 posts. Some of it might be repetitive, but that's how you learn, through repetition. That's why the mainstream media beats things in people's heads, says the same thing over and over and over and over again. The walls are closing in, the walls are closing in, orange man bad, orange man bad, for years. So try it with the terms, the only way. And there are other keywords I'll go over with you. But this is, like I said, 17 posts have this. It is the only way. And that's what I was getting to about these characters that are having all the fun running their jaws about Trump. And who would have thought that the legal profession would be on a public broadcasting site putting up legal AF podcasts, allusions to filthy language, okay? Dressed like a pair of bums, at least the one who hosts the show, usually the one in the background there laughing. He looks like a bum off the street. But anyway, we've got to expose them. Like it's been said many times, like Christ said, you're either for me or against me. And I'm going to think of a meme. If you got a problem with Trump, if you've got a problem with Donald J. Trump, you've got problems. Just that simple. If you're against somebody who's fighting child trafficking, who's fighting this endless wars, who's going up against this corrupt system, and all you can do is look around for rocks to throw at him, we got a problem with you, okay? If you got a problem with Trump. And more people are going to be thinking that way. So, I'm checking out the some of the chats here. Hi, Melvita. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, we got to watch out for flags. I'll put it that way. Something to scare and distract us. And they're going to try to force Trump to pay attention to those indictments, Gary, because they're going to try to put their hands on him. I think Trump put out a statement, said it would be very dangerous for them to try to incarcerate him. Yes, Melvita. Prayers for you and your family, honey. Hi, Jerry Lee. Yeah, I used to troll them too, but I'm vulnerable because they can attack me while I broadcast and do false reports and stuff like that. They don't have any scruples, believe me. If they'll say what they said about Judge Eileen Cannon and about Donald Trump, and you might as well say 80 to 100 million Americans, they got no problem with abusing me and my viewers. Anyway, here's Jamie. And the photo on the right is how he appeared when he did a video. And, he crossed his eyes up like it was Wanda. He joked around a little bit. But I said last night that I had some friends in the past that had gone through sudden illness, I'll say. Physical injury, illness that was sudden, and their appearances changed drastically. The pallor of their skin changed. You lose weight quickly when you're very ill. And he's lost a lot of weight. But this picture, you see his forehead on the picture on the left. Did I say left? I meant the right is the one the one on the right is where he did a video where he crossed his eyes like Wanda was talking about how sick he was. The one on the left is an earlier photograph. He's got those two lines on his forehead. They're pretty pronounced. But you look at, I got my lefts and rights mixed up. You look at the one on the right, he's got the same two lines. They're fainter, but they're there. So, and the freckle pattern on the nose is almost identical. Is identical. It's just that the pallor of his skin and the right eyebrow has a mark that's identical. Okay, so no, he's been very ill. The question is, what happened to him? What happened to him? Jerry Lee says ears and eyes are different. I got a little background in this stuff. That's the same person. I could tell you that. That's Jamie Foxx. He suffered a severe illness and or injury of some sort. And it does affect the pallor of the skin. Dramatic weight loss will make the face drawn looking and longer. But as I was saying, he's got the exact same freckle patterns on his nose and above his left eye, the left side of the screen. He's just very sick. And the question is, why? Will we ever find out? And like I said, I have seen people on 2 occasions from emotional distress within a 2-hour period. Their physical affect, their appearance had changed. I saw one person walk in the courtroom. 2 hours later, they walked out. They had visibly more gray hair, unmistakable. Their hair got gray while they were in the courtroom. So anyway, and I've seen somebody that was put in a distressful situation, and saw them about, I'd say about 5 hours. I don't know how long the situation was, but I was taken aback by how their appearance had deteriorated. And they can recover. They get the pallor back of the skin. They can gain weight, stuff like that, start looking more like their old selves. But they can suddenly have a change in appearance. I've seen it. Yeah, this pallor of his skin has changed, Gary. Uh, so we'll see. We'll see. He has spoken out in the past against a lot of people in Hollywood, Oprah being one of them. There's just a rash of YouTube videos about people that have in the past and are currently speaking out against Oprah. Angelina Jolie, uh, Mel Gibson, Jamie Foxx, all kinds of stuff. And, hey, somebody could have spiked a drink or done something. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, for the sake of a little bit of humor, we always go to the Babylon Bee. Joseph Biden. Biden says giant oversight check from Burisma he's holding is right-wing disinformation. So, I don't know what it would behoove them, uh, why they would go after him, but I don't know. Maybe he did get that treatment in the shoulder, and that is an after effect. I don't know. That could be. Here's what should have happened. Here's what should have happened January 20th. Never mind the 6th. I had this in a meme that had real faces on there, and it said underneath it, "This is why the Marines don't do riot control." Yeah, I've heard all that stuff, Phil, about Quincy Jones. He was a weirdo. He could be hooked on something. No, I'm sure he's had a lot of medications. We don't know what's happened to him, but he said he had tubes hanging out of him. Nobody has said what it was, whether it was a stroke or what it was. He could have been poisoned. Who's that? Gary? Jamie Foxx? Well, they say just about all of them that's gotten up there making the big money has been compromised somehow by these satanic groups. I'm not going to say all of them. Hi, Christina. How are you doing? SM, how are you doing? Finding Dory, how are you? Chris Rock used to make jokes about, your paycheck after they take taxes out and all kinds of stuff. He used to make, I thought he was probably not in that crowd. Then I heard he was. I don't know. Well, most all of them had disappeared, Nick, with this so-called writer's strike. So, and Breitbart, they say he got dropped by a heart attack, GUN. Jackpot Lotto. Quincy Jones is a leader, MS says. Well, there's a lot of little subgroups. The one thing they got in common is that they think they're smarter than God. Good luck with that. But anyway, Trump was on Maria Bartiromo's, and he said that Zuckerberg broke the law big time. And he said for a lot less, they try to put you in jail. So here we go. Amid reported Meta refusals to comply with congressional oversight of big tech censorship, the House Judiciary Committee is reportedly weighing a potential Thursday vote on a contempt of Congress referral on Zuckerberg. Now he can go to jail over that, and it can lead to other things. Mr. T said that what he did is illegal, period, big time election interference. Campaign contributions, $500 million. Hi, Nikki, how are you doing? So, yeah, right when Mr. T goes on Maria Bartiromo, you got Jim Jordan dropping. This is about Zuckerberg. I'll just call him Zuckerberg. Here you go. I wonder if y'all seen this one yet. Ha 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 ha. Redhausen, how you doing? That's right. Thank you, Karen. Hit that like button. I appreciate it. Help the videos get around. Yeah, there's different levels, I'm sure. People, they don't participate in the... I know they do rituals. I've seen videos of it. I'd get this in this rabbit hole, but somebody overrode the television stations in Australia last year and played about a 15, 20-second clip of members of parliament standing around a circle doing incantations. I mean, it wasn't AI. It wasn't anything. And everybody was shocked. How did that happen? And I believe that was the white hats. So, yeah, there are people that worship Satan. I mean, it's just a fact. Nobody can say that, no, that's not true. Well, they got one in the Navy. They got a satanic church in the U.S. Navy that's suing, saying, Roe v. Wade restrictions interfere with their services, so-called, their rituals. Here's somebody just trying to get a job and get along in life right here. Did you all see this person? Just, nobody understands them. They're just trying to fit in, and people pick on them. Right here. This man, Anthony Lafredo, is complaining that companies judge him on his body modifications and won't hire him. Would you employ this guy? By the way, this is not photoshopped. You can check it out on twitter.com, Jacko Edward. They should be able to express themselves, right? We'll be paying for all that stuff. We are paying for it. Here you go. So you're telling me that the most heavily armed citizens of the world attempted an unarmed insurrection? But anyway, here's let me see if this is the screenshot. Yeah, here's a screenshot from a Telegram report that came out at 1:30. Let me see. Right here. Citizens Free Press. Body found in search for black male paddleboarder 43 who drowned in pond on Obama's Martha Vineyard estate. 911 call was made from ex-president's $12 million property last night. So that was at 1:30 today. That was the first report. And then I started seeing reports around 3 o'clock. This was Free Press, but Jack Posobiec also put it out. Massive emergency response in Martha's Vineyard after 911 call from Obama mansion. Divers recovered body of the 43-year-old male just before 10 a.m. From Edgartown Great Pond, which the Obama family's $12 million mansion lies. So there's the Great Pond up at the top. So I don't know if anybody's got any more updates about that. But before it gets too late, let me give you guys an idea of what we're going to be looking at in the way of a response to this lawfare business. Let me see if I got that article. Oh, here we go. Here's one. You didn't hear nothing about this. It was Fox News from Saucedo Storm. Mask Moscow enforced because we care. Christians arrested for maskless outdoor church service to get payout from liberal college town. A Democrat-run college town in Idaho is paying out a $300,000 settlement to 3 churchgoers arrested during a 2020 outdoor psalm sing that garnered national attention. So there's one example of returning their lawfare business. They want to sue everybody for turning the corner Well, that sword cuts two ways. And let me find this one about Ron DeSantis. He is doing an inquiry. Well, his administration. Here we go. And think about Disney, think about Target, think about Bud Light, all these companies that are costing their investors billions of dollars. DeSantis announces inquiry into Bud Light's parent company over partnership with trans influencer. The GOP governor of Florida and 2024 presidential candidate said the state is considering legal action against AB InBev. And this is where we're giving them some of their own look here and not their business back. They're all looking at DeSantis' arguments or supposed arguments with Trump and this and that. But he's really going after these people. And here's a little more detail about it by Governor Ron DeSantis announced Thursday he's directing his state government to launch an inquiry into Bud Light's parent company. He accused the beverage company of not following its fiduciary duty to shareholders and pensioners by collaborating with Mulvaney. There, you have to exercise due diligence when you're placed in a position of public trust, okay, such as chairman of a board or on a board members of publicly held companies that issue shares. You have a responsibility. You cannot behave malfeasance, misfeasance, malicious actions, purposely damage a brand. That's unlawful. You think about that now with what's coming up, what I talked about last night with Disney, what we've talked about with Target. These stores that have taken big hits because these shareholders are not paying attention to their investors. They're trying to make a personal statement and they're violating their fiduciary duty. We're going to be seeing more of that. When you start pursuing a political agenda at the expense of your shareholders, that's not just impacting very wealthy people. It impacts hardworking people who were police officers, firefighters, teachers in terms of the pension. It's a direct impact on the state pension fund. He continued, so we're going to be launching an inquiry about Bud Light, InBev, and it could be something that leads to a derivative lawsuit filed on behalf of the shareholders of the Florida Pension Fund. Because at the end of the day, there's got to be penalties when you put business aside to focus on your social agenda. Hang on to your hats, Disney, okay? Because they got a lot going on in Florida. Bud Light's just the beginning. So, lawfare. Yeah, we can do that too. Here we go. Who melted the snowflakes faster? Ha 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 ha. Try that in a small town. Let's see. Yeah, I want to find out more about that, what Fox News was kicking into. And hey, you've got these big NGOs and all these creepo bankers that are pushing an agenda for the NWO getting involved in harming stock prices and destroying businesses, they're going to be in trouble. It's not just Bud Light. And go woke, go broke is going to be a heck of a lot more, have a heck of a lot more meaning when these lawsuits start coming out. Here we go. Try that in a small town. Find out. Mess around and find out. But I'm so glad for those Christians who received that settlement. I only wish it'd been more. Somebody got 800,000 because their chicken McNugget was too hot. So we go figure, right? Here's what Mr. T put up that I put up the other day. About 2 days after I put this up, he put it up. Ha ha ha. I'm not kidding you. He put it up on True Social. Yeah, it's kind of getting hard to, I don't know. Some people can't swim, though. I don't know. Yeah, Phil, the fundraising that they gave money to the Church of Satan. 100% dollar for dollar match. Unbelievable. So we got to, believe me, a lot of people are going to be keeping an eye on that. Let me see what's going on. Obama's personal chef. That's who drowned Wanda? Oh. Angel said he was a chef in the White House for Obama. Yeah, it was a small settlement, Jerry. Oh, Sherry is mentioning that too. Oh, thank you, Nikki. If anybody wants to help the channel, I've got a link in the description for Buy Me a Coffee. It's this is a viewer supported and creator supported channel only. Chef burnt the hot dogs. Well, he'll tell no tales. Had a life jacket on, you say? Well, so did the lady that approved. That Trump mentioned died in that plane crash that was involved with Obama's birth certificate. She was the only one who passed away, and she was wearing a life jacket too. Let me see. Here we go. This is for the Bidenomics. The economy is doing great. We created 5 million jobs this year. I have 3 of them and still can't pay my rent. Hi, the cat. How are you doing? Let me see. Oh, bad things happened yesterday. We're thinking about you. You got it, the cat. So, sorry to hear that. Well, I'm going to start putting this up on my social media sites. If you need reason to unfriend me, I'm pro-Trump, pro-military, pro-law enforcement, pro-gun, pro-life, a Christian, and there is only two genders. P.S. All lives matter. So you guys want to, if you guys want to clean your friend base out, make sure you don't have any weirdos in there. Go ahead and get a screenshot of that. Mr. Trumptastic passed away? Here's what we got in Hollywood, folks. I don't know who this person is. Maybe some of you all do. Charlize Theron and her two adopted boys she is raising as girls. I don't know who this person, Charlize Theron, is, but I believe it was Somalia, and we know Russia has banned adoptions of their children to U.S. citizens for exactly this reason you see on the screen. And I think Uganda, too. There are more than one African nation has, and Russia, has prohibited adoptions by U.S. citizens of their children because of what you see on the screen. It's abusive, and maybe we can learn something. Here's some immigrants right here. They're here, and they're not supposed to be, but they want job training too. Brand new sneakers, brand new shorts. I mentioned in there they had brand new shoes, brand new shorts on, and they need job training. Here's something else that, let me see, Disney is working on destroying. Let me find that. Here we go. Another brand they're working on destroying. Netflix, I'm sorry. Gives up on He-Man movie after spending $30 million. Meanwhile, no word on the millions Netflix gave the Obamas. He-Man movie dropped at Netflix. Mattel looking for new buyer with $30 million invested. Skeletor has triumphed over the forces of Eternia as Netflix has scuttled its iteration of the long-developing Masters of the Universe movie. For years they've had this thing, but it's a He-Man. You can't have shows like that anymore. So anyway, here is a bit of good news and something we've discussed last year. It's about Rudy Giuliani, and the bottom line, as far as I'm concerned, he's already been over there. He's been to Ukraine. He's tracked the money, and he says, I got it all, Joe. And maybe he's the one with 8 letters in his name that's going to be the stealth bomber. He went over to Ukraine. He met with Shokin, the man who was fired, that Biden accepted money and demanded this man be fired, Shokin, and he tracked the money through Luxembourg straight to an account with the Biden name on it, $900,000, 10% of the $900 million given to Ukraine that was withheld until Shokin got fired. And Giuliani went on to say that they found this $10 million that went to Biden family members. He says it's closer to $50 million. So keep an eye on that. Look for Mr. Giuliani to be coming up in the picture. They're going to try to indict him too. But I believe he is, they're going to cross that Rubicon. And that may be when everything goes down. If something happens before 2024, if something happens this year, it is because I think they're going to try to physically detain and incarcerate Trump and or Rudy Giuliani. That's right. He brought down the mafia. And the other thing, too, I read the other day, is that Durham brought down the Genovese family. The Genovese crime family, he was working under Giuliani back then when Rudy Giuliani took down the entire mafia, all 5 families of the New York mob. Durham was working on the Genovese family. And Durham's still in the picture. So, let me leave this picture up because I like it. Right there. Wait a minute. Not that one. I like that one. But I like this one better, especially since Mr. T reposted it. Ha 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 ha. Monsters Inc. Yeah, Christine. Yeah, they frighten the children. I remember that. I saw, and we know. Oh, I watched part of his broadcast tonight, and he put up a post that I put up about 3 days ago. The exact same post out of 5,000. We're on the same page, folks. We need to get everybody on the same page. Rico, Jerry Lee says. Sacrifice is no longer admission or indoctrination. It's now training your kids. That's right. People got to raise. They can't just have them. They got to raise them. When they made it where both parents had to work to make ends meet, that was when they started. That's when they started tearing apart the families. This one here, their new argument, their new scare tactic for their liberal lefties. We can't let Trump win because he's going to go after and get revenge on the government. And we say, yes, you better believe it. He's our retribution. So you guys can think that that's talking point's going to hurt Trump. It ain't going to hurt him. That's right. That's right. A lot of this child trafficking is because the parents they take money and they turn their backs. Like Gary's saying there, for a few dollars. There are parents, not all mothers are saints. They turn their backs on their child to get a little bit of drugs. And people like that have, I've said it before, I've seen people, they could either go to jail for 20 years or take Depo-Provera so they couldn't have any more kids and they lost their kids. That's something we got to do. And if there are going to be people like this girl and her mother gave her morning after pills to extinguish a child's life in a third trimester. We can't tolerate that in a society. She got 90 days in jail, and the lefties are complaining about that. It's a spiritual problem, Wanda. That's what Mr. T said. It's a spiritual problem. I was going to play a video today about, I'll record it and save it and put it on another broadcast. But this country has a spiritual problem, and we were told the end is not for everybody. But I can tell you that some things there's no compromise. There's no compromise. And we'll see how it goes. So anyway, folks, I appreciate you all spending your precious time with me. I'm going to leave on a note here about Nancy Pelosi, how everything works, what they've done to Mr. T and all of his supporters, including us, throughout the years. I appreciate y'all spending your time with me, and I will be broadcasting soon. We'll be do a Rumble jump soon. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when I go live. I appreciate you all very much, and I'll be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and out.
Self-fulfilling prophecy. You demonize, and then we call it the rap. You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise it. And then you write it, and they'll say, see, it's reported in the press that this, and this. So they have that validation that the press reported the smear, and then it's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report on the smear that we made. And it's a tactic, and it's self-evident.
I've had the story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story. Then the palace found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and we were so afraid we wouldn't be able to interview Kate and Will that also quashed the story. She told me everything. She had pictures. She had everything. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton, we had everything. Do I think he was killed? 100%. Yes, I do. Because he made his whole living blackmailing people. There were a lot of men in those planes, a lot of men who visited that island, a lot of powerful men who came into that.
Today, essentially saying that the story wasn't ready for air. She said that, and they said that as well, not fully vetted. ABC has still not run all these years later, and he's dead now.